Hi everyone, welcome to my channel International Storyteller. In this channel you will find true horror stories worldwide. These stories are for entertainment purposes only. In this video, I will tell you the creepy story of a haunted Japanese doll called Okiku. This doll is also known as the haunted doll of Hokkaido because it is from an island called Hokkaido in Japan. Upon first look, it seems like an ordinary children's doll from the early 1900s. But the doll is one of the most haunted dolls not only in Japan but also in the world. It is believed that this doll is still haunted by the spirit of a little girl. The Okiku doll is located in her private shrine and kept very carefully in a little wooden box in the Manenji Temple of Iwamizawa, which is a town in Hokkaido Island in Japan. Every year, hundreds of tourists come to Japan to see this doll, which is kept in the Manenji Temple, for a very unsettling reason. In order to know why Okiku doll is the most haunted doll in Japan, let us hear the true story behind this doll. In 1918, a young man named Eikichi Suzuki, who was 17 years old, brought a doll for his 2-year-old sister. His 2-year-old sister's name was called Okiku. While Eikichi Suzuki was touring the region for a maritime exhibition, he saw the doll and instantly drew his eyes. The perfect little doll sat in a shop window, and he felt very attracted to that doll. Suzuki didn't think twice and used the last of his money to instantly purchase the doll for his little sister. The doll was about 40 centimeters tall and dressed in a traditional Japanese kimono dress. Its hair was raven black and cut to roughly shoulder length in a traditional okappa hairstyle. The doll's eyes were seen to swallow everything up in their gaze. When someone looked at the eyes of the doll, they felt very attracted to the doll. After purchasing the doll, Eikichi Suzuki went back home and gave the doll to his little sister Okiku. Immediately, his little sister Okiku fell in love with the doll. It transformed into Okiku's favorite toy and, more importantly, her best friend. Okiku played every day with the doll and took it everywhere. She treated the doll like a little sister to her. She would talk and play with the doll. She sometimes feeds it and sleeps with it. The doll never left Okiku's sight. She then decided to call the doll Okiku because the doll is like a mirror duplicate of herself. Then, a year later, tragedy struck. In 1919, the disease yellow fever had descended on the island of Japan and had rubbed the family of the little girl. Okiku suffered from yellow fever, and she died gasping for air, in pain and afraid. At the last moment of her death, she was holding the doll firmly in her grasp. She was only 3 years old when she died. The family wanted to bury the doll along with Okiku, but circumstances and governmental supervisor prevented this last act of kindness on their part. So, the doll was never laid to rest with Okiku. The doll was alternatively located on the family's altar, which is a common practice in certain Japanese households to commemorate the dead. The small shrine celebrated their little daughter and marked her passing into the afterlife. That's when the scary and weird things started to occur. One day, the family members started to notice that the doll's hair was getting longer. The doll's original hair, with a traditional shoulder length cut with neat ends, had become a mess of split ends reaching down past her waist. It was long, thick, different colors, and felt different. At night, they started to dream of Okiku. When they awoke in the early morning, the doll kept in the family altar would sometimes appear by their bedside. The closer the year got to certain key dates like Okiku's birthday or the day of her death, the chilling events intensified and grew into full-blown acts of spiritual presence like lights flickering on and off, banging in the house, noises and strange voices. As a result of this, they went to the nearby temple and told the spiritual leaders about the scary things that were happening inside the house. The spiritual leaders confirmed that their daughter Okiku's soul was in fact trapped within the doll. As a result of this continuous haunting, in 1938, the family decided to relocate to a different district, but they don't have the desire to take the doll with them. If they carried the doll to a far different district, it would mean the doll separating away from their daughter's grave. This will anger their daughter's spirit. So the family approached the local temple and asked them to take care of the doll. The priests happily accepted the charge and started taking care of Okiku doll. The temple, by now, had heard countless stories of the haunted doll whose hair grew every year. Over time, they have managed to confirm the truth of some of the claims about the doll, particularly that the hair does indeed grow. The priest has sent out some cut samples of the doll's hair for scientific analysis. The report from the scientific examination of the doll proved that the hair was that of a human child. So the priest truly believed that the spirit of Okiku was present inside the doll. Regularly, the priest cuts the doll's hair, and in that way, the doll's spirit stays happy and content. As the years passed by, the doll's popularity grew and her powers further developed. She has become so strong that her hair has started growing faster and wilder. And she has become even more spookier than earlier because the last time some tourists were very frightened because they claimed that the mouth of Okiku was slowly opening and inside the mouth, they saw something like baby teeth, spouting like weeds from porcelain gums.